What's up, Army? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we bring you the hottest BTS updates every single day. Now, you know how everyone's been obsessed with figuring out what songs BTS is gonna perform on their massive 2026 world tour, right? Well, there's been this one burning question that's literally keeping fans awake at night. Will Jimin perform Who and Like Crazy during the tour? And guys, when someone finally asked him directly, his answer was so mysterious that it's driving the entire fandom crazy. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you're excited about the tour. Stay with me until the end, because what he said has some major implications that you definitely don't want to miss. Okay, so let's set the scene here. We all know that BTS is dropping their 5th studio album on March 20th, 2026, and the world tour announcement is coming on January 14th at midnight KST. The hype is absolutely unreal right now. And in the middle of all this excitement, fans have been desperately trying to figure out what the set list is going to look like. Will it be all new songs? Will they bring back the classics? And most importantly for Jimin's fans, will we finally get to see Who and Like Crazy performed live in a full BTS concert setting? Now guys, before we dive into Jimin's mysterious answer, let's talk about why this question is so incredibly important. But first, quick question for you. Have you already got your concert outfit planned? Drop a purple heart in the comments if you're ready. Okay, so Who has been an absolute monster hit for Jimin. We're talking about a song that became the K-pop solo track with the longest chart run in Billboard history. 75 consecutive weeks on the charts, guys. That's not just impressive, that's legendary. The song topped iTunes in all 119 regions when it dropped. 119. Every single country where iTunes operates. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. And Like Crazy, don't even get me started. This song was Jimin's breakthrough moment as a soloist. It showed the world that he wasn't just a member of BTS, but a powerhouse artist in his own right. The song has this emotional depth, this vulnerability that hits you right in the feels every single time you listen to it. Fans have been dying to see him perform it with the full production value of a BTS world tour. Can you imagine the stage setup? The lighting? The choreography? It would be absolutely insane. So when a fan finally got the chance to ask Jimin during a recent Weverse live session, will you perform Who and Like Crazy during the tour? Everyone was glued to their screens waiting for his answer. And guys, what he said was so cryptic. He just smiled that gorgeous smile of his, tilted his head slightly, and said, what do you think? Some things are better as surprises, right? And then he winked. He literally winked at the camera and moved on to the next question. Army, can you imagine the chaos that erupted after that? Twitter absolutely exploded. Thousands of fans were analyzing every word, every facial expression, every micro-movement he made. Some fans interpreted his smile as a yes because he looked so excited when the question was asked. Others thought the fact that he said surprises meant he's planning something completely different that no one expects. And that wink, don't even get me started on the theories about that wink. Comment below if you think that wink means he's definitely performing these songs. But here's where it gets even more interesting, guys. According to multiple reports and leaked information from tour planning sources, the BTS 2026 World Tour is expected to include solo stages for each member. This has been a tradition in basically all of their previous tours. During the Love Yourself tour, during Speak Yourself, during Permission to Dance on Stage, each member got their moment to shine with solo performances. So logically, Jimin would get a solo stage too, right? The question is, which songs will he choose? And this is where things get complicated. Jimin has released 2 full albums as a soloist, Face and Muse. That's a lot of material to choose from. Face gave us incredible tracks like Set Me Free PT2, Like Crazy, and Alone. Muse blessed us with Who, Smeraldo Garden Marching Band, and Closer Than This. How do you choose just 1 or 2 songs from all that amazing music? Industry insiders and concert planners have been sharing their predictions online. And guys, the setlist speculations are wild. Some people think Jimin might do a medley format where he performs snippets of multiple songs. Others believe he'll go for maximum impact and perform Who as his main solo stage because of its massive commercial success and the incredible choreography that goes with it. There's also a theory that he might surprise everyone by performing a completely new song that we haven't heard yet. Pause the video right now and tell me, which option do you think is most likely? Drop your prediction in the comments. But wait, there's more to unpack here. And if you're enjoying this deep dive, give this video a thumbs up right now. It really helps the channel grow. Remember when Jimin performed Who on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon back in July 2024? That performance was incredible. The precision, the emotion, the stage presence. It was all absolutely perfect. Fans who watched that performance have been manifesting a full-scale version with all the bells and whistles of a stadium production. Imagine Who performed in a venue with 70,000 screaming fans, massive LED screens, pyrotechnics, and that iconic choreography magnified to stadium scale. That would be legendary. And like crazy, this song has such a special place in ARMY's hearts because it's deeply personal to Jimin. He's talked about how the song represents feelings of loneliness, the fear of being forgotten, and the desire to hold on to precious moments. Performing it live during the reunion tour after years apart would hit so differently. The emotional weight of that performance, combined with the joy of being back together with all 7 members, would probably make every single person in the arena cry. I'm not even joking, guys. Have tissues ready. Now let's talk about what fans are saying on social media because the discussions are absolutely fascinating. And hey, if you're not already following us on Twitter and Instagram, go do that now. We post exclusive content there too. On Twitter, there's a massive thread with over 50,000 likes where fans are dissecting every possible setlist combination. Some ARMYs are saying, if Jimin doesn't perform, Who, we riot. Others are being more strategic, saying things like, maybe he'll save Like Crazy for the encore section when the emotional energy is at its peak. There are even fans creating mock set lists with timestamps, stage descriptions, and outfit changes. The dedication is unreal. TikTok is equally chaotic, guys. There are literally hundreds of videos of fans manifesting Who and Like Crazy into the set list. Some fans are doing the Who choreography while chanting, BTS 2026 setlist please. Others are creating emotional edits of Jimin performing these songs with captions like, manifesting this for the tour. The algorithm is eating it up. These videos are getting millions of views because everyone wants to see these songs performed live. But here's something really interesting that a lot of fans might not know. According to tour planning experts and people who've worked on previous BTS tours, setlist decisions are actually incredibly strategic. It's not just about picking popular songs. They have to consider the energy flow of the entire concert, the balance between high-energy tracks and emotional moments, the distribution of solo stages versus group performances, and even technical considerations like costume changes and stage setup transitions. So if Jimin does choose to perform Who and Like Crazy, where will they fit in the set list? Based on the structure of previous BTS tours, solo stages typically happen in Act 2 or Act 3 of the concert. This is after the opening high-energy section, but before the final emotional encore moments. It allows each member to showcase their individual artistry while keeping the concert's narrative arc intact. Who, with its powerful, confident energy would be perfect for Act 2. Like Crazy, with its emotional vulnerability, might be better suited for Act 3 when the concert gets more intimate and heartfelt. There's also the question of whether Jimin would perform these songs exactly as they are on the albums, or if he creates special tour versions. We've seen BTS do this before, right? They've taken studio tracks and completely reimagined them for live performances with different arrangements, extended dance breaks, and altered structures to maximize the arena experience. Can you imagine a remix version of Who with an extended intro and a massive dance break where backup dancers flood the stage? Or an acoustic version of Like Crazy, with just Jimin, a spotlight, and 70,000 phone lights swaying in the dark? Chills, guys. Literal chills. Another factor to consider is the timing and pacing of the overall tour. This is going to be a massive tour, guys. We're talking about 65 shows across multiple continents from May to December 2026. That's 8 months of continuous performing. Jimin, like all the members, needs to be strategic about vocal preservation and physical stamina. Who is vocally demanding with those high notes and that intricate choreography. Like Crazy requires intense emotional delivery. Performing these songs night after night for months would be incredibly challenging. This might actually be part of why Jimin gave such a mysterious answer. Maybe he's still working with the choreography team and vocal coaches to figure out how to make these performances sustainable over such a long tour. Maybe he's testing different versions in rehearsals to see which one works best. Or maybe, just maybe, he's planning something so spectacular that he doesn't want to spoil the surprise. Let's also talk about what other members have said about the set list, because their comments give us some clues too. RM mentioned in an interview that the music is really good and that everyone is working hard. J-Hope hinted during an appearance on The Manager that they're actively preparing both a group album and a world tour simultaneously. Jin has been dropping cryptic comments about surprises and new experiences for ARMY. None of them have given concrete details, but the energy seems to suggest that something special is being planned. And you know what else is interesting? The expected setlist predictions from fans and industry experts all include Jimin's solo songs. Multiple tour prediction websites and ARMY-run setlist databases have Like Crazy listed in their anticipated setlists. Some have both Who and Like Crazy in a medley format. The fact that these songs are so universally expected might actually be part of why Jimin is being mysterious about it. Maybe he wants to exceed expectations. Maybe he's planning to perform deep cuts from his albums that fans don't expect. There's also a really cool theory circulating in the fandom right now that Jimin might do what's called a solo stage journey, where he performs a sequence of songs that tell a story. It could start with Set Me Free PT2, representing breaking free from constraints, transition into Like Crazy, showing the vulnerability and fear of loneliness, and culminate in Who as a declaration of confidence and self-assurance. That would be such a powerful narrative arc and would make sense thematically with Jimin's artistic evolution. But guys, we also need to consider the practical reality here. The set list for a BTS concert is packed. We're talking about 2.5 to 3 hours of non-stop entertainment. They need to fit in new songs from the 2026 album, classic BTS hits like Dynamite, Butter, Spring Day, Fake Love, Blood, Sweat and Tears, fan favorites like Run BTS, Dope, and Fire, plus solo stages for all 7 members. That's a lot to squeeze into one concert. Each member getting one solo song would already take up 14 minutes minimum if you account for stage setup changes. If each member performed 2 solo songs, that's almost 30 minutes just for solo stages. And we haven't even counted group performances yet. So realistically, Jimin might have to choose between Who and Like Crazy rather than performing both. Or he might do what I mentioned earlier and create a medley that includes elements of both songs. That would be the best of both worlds. Here's another angle to think about: streaming numbers and commercial success. Who has been Jimin's biggest commercial hit as a soloist. It broke records, topped charts, and has massive recognition even among casual listeners who might not follow BTS closely. From a business perspective, performing Who makes total sense because it's the song most likely to generate viral moments, social media buzz, and attract media coverage. But, Like Crazy, has deep sentimental value for longtime fans and represents an important chapter in Jimin's solo journey. Choosing between commercial appeal and emotional resonance, that's a tough call. And let's not forget about the international aspect of this tour. Different regions have different favorite Jimin songs. In the US, Who dominated the radio and charts. In Korea, Like Crazy had massive cultural impact. In Japan, fans absolutely love both songs equally. How do you create a set list that satisfies fans across all these different markets? Maybe that's why Jimin is keeping it mysterious, because the set list might actually change slightly depending on which country they're performing in. Some tours have done this before, where they swap out 1 or 2 songs to cater to regional preferences. Social media has been going insane trying to decode every little hint that Jimin drops. There was this one Weverse post where Jimin shared a playlist, and fans immediately started analyzing which songs were included, trying to find patterns or clues about the tour setlist. There was another instance where he posted a mirror selfie, and fans noticed music sheets in the blurred background. They literally enhanced the image and tried to figure out which song the sheets were for. The detective work is intense. YouTube is also full of setlist prediction videos where fans create mock concert experiences with their dream setlists. Some of these videos have millions of views. Everyone wants to visualize what the concert will be like, and Jimin performing Who and Like Crazy features prominently in basically every single prediction video. The demand is undeniable. Big hit, and the tour planners know that fans want to see these songs performed live. But you know what I think, guys? I think Jimin's mysterious answer is actually the perfect response. Think about it. If he outright confirmed that he's performing these songs, where's the excitement? Where's the anticipation? Part of what makes concerts so magical is that element of surprise. Not knowing exactly what's coming creates this electric energy in the arena where everyone is on the edge of their seats waiting to see what happens next. Plus, keeping it mysterious allows Jimin creative freedom. Maybe he's still experimenting with different versions, different arrangements, different staging concepts. Maybe he wants to see how the rehearsals go before committing to a specific set list. Maybe he's waiting to see how the new album songs are received before deciding which solo songs to include. As an artist, having that flexibility is really valuable, and giving a definitive answer too early could lock him into something that might not end up being the best creative choice. There's also the possibility, and hear me out on this, that Jimin might perform different solo songs at different stops on the tour. Some artists do this where they rotate through their discography, so that fans who attend multiple shows get different experiences. Imagine if the Seoul show features Who, the Tokyo show features Like Crazy, the LA show features Set Me Free PT2, and the London show features Smeraldo Garden Marching Band. That would be incredible for fans, and would give Jimin the opportunity to showcase the full breadth of his solo work. But regardless of what Jimin ultimately decides to perform, one thing is absolutely certain. Whatever he chooses, it's gonna be spectacular. This is Park Jimin we're talking about, guys. The man who gives 110% in every single performance. The perfectionist who rehearses until every movement is flawless. The artist who pours his heart and soul into every note he sings. Whether he performs Who, Like Crazy, both, neither, or something completely unexpected, you know it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, that mysterious answer of his, it's kind of genius. It keeps fans talking, keeps the excitement building, and maintains that sense of anticipation that makes the actual tour announcement even more thrilling. When January 14th hits, and we finally get the official tour details, and when the first concert happens and we finally see what Jimin has prepared, the payoff is going to be so much sweeter because of all this mystery and speculation. So ARMY, what do you think? Do you believe Jimin will perform Who and Like Crazy on the tour? Or do you think he's planning something completely different? Are you team, he's definitely performing both? Or team, he's gonna surprise us with something unexpected? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so let me know your predictions. And while you're down there, don't forget to like this video. We're aiming for 10,000 likes on this one. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any news about the 2026 World Tour. We've got so much more BTS content coming your way. Also, make sure to check out our community tab where we post polls, behind-the-scenes updates, and quick news flashes. We've got a poll running right now about which city you think will get announced first on January 14th. So go vote on that after this video. One thing's for sure, guys. Whether Jimin performs these songs or not, the BTS 2026 World Tour is gonna be the event of the decade. It's gonna be legendary, it's gonna be emotional, and it's gonna remind everyone why BTS is the biggest group in the world. We've waited almost 4 years for this moment, and it's finally happening. So get ready, save up for those tickets, prepare your light sticks, and get ready for the comeback of the century. Thanks so much for watching, ARMY. See you in the next video. Borahi.